Way to break it, Joe. Welcome back, guys. I'm Joe Grimes, and this is The Joe Show, and today we're going to do a couple really interesting things. One, we're going to say hi to a good friend of mine who's come over to help me operate the camera today, Lawrence Sirks. Lawrence Sirks. How do you say your last name?
Sirks.
Say it again.
Sirks.
Sirks. Lawrence Sirks, and this is how you spell it. Right there. Poof, it's gone. I'm just gonna share a little bit about the history of where the Joe Show came from, and number two, we're going to actually fly a drone in a church, but shh, don't tell anybody because it's a big secret. Joe, where the Joe Show came from, what is the thought process, the mindset, the theory behind the Joe Show? What do you hope to accomplish in life with this thing, man? The Joe Show actually started years and years and years and years ago when I was working in a bucket truck and I was listening to a lot of talk radio that had a huge influence on my ability to be able to communicate with people through a microphone or a camera. So what I did is that one day I decided I was gonna make up this funny thing that when my friends called me, I was gonna answer the phone and say, 1-800-JOE Show, you're the next caller, what's your question? After several times of doing that, finally my friends started to conjure up these crazy questions and these weird things that they would call up and say, some of which were completely inappropriate, but most of which were completely hilarious and drew us to a big, huge place where we were just laughing uncontrollably. And then that evolved into when I had a tower climbing company and I would climb towers, and I would find myself like hours and hours and hours on top of these towers, and I had no idea what I was gonna do. I was bored out of my mind. Cut to a scene, me on top of a tower, bored out of my mind. This is the camera right here, the iPhone 5, the very one that I first started out with. I thought this would be pretty awesome. Like I could show the whole world what I go out and what I do on a regular basis. Before I even knew what vlogging was, I was shooting videos and putting them on another YouTube channel. Link to that at the end of the video on me at 700 feet above San Angelo, Texas. And so I had all these videos that I shot and put them up on Facebook, YouTube, and all these other places. That eventually evolved into this. You take two of those, me doing a bunch of crazy stuff on towers and me doing a phone call thing called The Joe Show. You put it all together and you have this right here. You have The Joe Show. Well, it all boils down to basically this, is that there's this thing called life, and I wanted to capture that, and I wanted to tell the stories of real life and the issues of real life, and we're gonna do that through a very cinematic approach. Now, if you guys will go with me, we're actually going to take a short walk into another room inside the building that I'm at, and we're going to do some pretty fun stuff with it. We're gonna actually pull off flying a drone as fast as we can, as reckless as we can, inside of a church sanctuary. Let's go. Way to break it, Joe. Okay, so what I've learned today is that basically flying a drone in a church is dangerous. There's a lot of obstacles. It's kind of like on a Sunday morning when we all go to church, there's a lot of obstacles getting our way to get there. When we get there, we find ourselves flying around, bumping into everybody, having a good time. But at the end of the day, when we leave church, do we want to leave that experience at church, or do we want to take that with us and share that experience that we had out in the real world? I'm Joe Grimes. This is The Joe Show. Super big thanks for my buddy Lawrence. Peace.